What is going on, everybody? 'Tis I, the enigma of the gun airwaves, Miyanovich, welcoming you to Season 3 of the Liberal Gun Owners Lens podcast, where unprecedented perspectives are packed into the cargo hold for the LGO Lens spaceship Voyagio.
That's fucking Italian.
Don't believe that evolution is possible with guns and public safety in America? It's already happening, y'all. Minds are evolving. Think guns versus public safety is the only game in town, do ya? Think culture war is the big boss, do ya? Then keep your ass in the past. Everyone else, all aboard! Hello, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of the Liberal Gun Owners Lens podcast. Hope you're doing well. I wanted to bring a series to you guys today with longstanding liberal gun owners, member and developer Will Hancock, also known as Sapper Gentleman. Recently did a meta interview with Will to publish on both of the podcasts that I'm doing this year. And of course, inside of this meta interview, we talked about guns a lot, and we talk about Will's YouTube channel. We talk a little bit about the current state of affairs with Donald Trump, MAGA, and the liberal reaction to these phenomena from Will's view. We also get into a subject that I covered previously about the death of one of our own and one of our developers, Brandon Swearingen. I wanted to bring you guys a series here on these subjects, as Will has been a long-standing and highly dedicated member of our community, certainly massively underappreciated. So I wanted to, again, with this podcast, give you the ability to look behind the curtain, hear some of the unpleasant realities of the kind of stuff that we have to deal with, the kind of struggles and the challenges that we have with trying to stake down and establish liberal gun ownership as what it is, which is a legitimate phenomenon that's here. It was here before. It's here to stay. And I thought it would be worthwhile to let you guys in on this and have you hear it. So without further ado, please join me for this discussion with Sapper Gentleman himself, Will Hancock.
How are you doing? Just generally, man. I mean, we don't necessarily have to keep all this stuff in the podcast, but how are you doing? How are things going?
Work is good. The channel is not. It's been a struggle to get just any kind of, so this is rando. Are you noticing, or do you even pay attention to the front door enough at LGO to notice that we're not getting the same kind of reaction that we got in 2017 or 2020?
Only, yes, but we did have a surge, like an oh shit surge there, but it didn't seem like it lasted as long.
Yeah.
Yeah, it didn't seem like it lasted as long.
Yeah, I'm just, I'm not feeling that the thing about guns that we got in 17 or 20. And
yep.
it almost kind of freaks me out a little bit, because it seems like it should be like more than ever.
Yeah.
And yet personally, it hasn't felt as important to me.
Yeah.
It's almost like there's so much other shit going on in the world right now that this just seems low priority. And I've had to kind of drag myself to the range the last couple of times.
Yeah.
I haven't like from within, I haven't had that like, ooh, I need to be out training and I don't know if it's just because I've done a bunch and I feel like I'm okay. Or if it almost feels more like what's the point? And
right.
That's the scary part to me, is I feel like people are kind of like, I'm not going to resist this because I don't want to end up in El Salvador.
Sure.
Does that?
Yeah, no, I mean, I think about it. It makes me think of a couple of things. I think one of the reasons why we don't see as much, well, here's what I'll say. The more mature that we get, or the more mature people in our community get, the less they're using the internet, like overwhelmingly, especially those of us that have been around for a while. So there isn't as much impetus to join social media for people who I would consider more mature. The majority of the people that seem to be coming to us now are coming to us mostly because of paranoia. And so their mental state is not one I would consider more mature. They're like freaking the fuck out. Okay, so great. They should be a little bit. But we're not really pulling towards us people that might be like, hey, I really do want to get into guns, but I'm not going to lose my shit. We're kind of pulling people that are more towards losing their shit. And those people have a tendency to be further to the left in their mentality. So when they come to the gate and they see a decade of maturity, rules and shit, like this, we're an official thing. And we do not track like a leftist organization, like at all.
No, of course. Yeah.
So I think they come to the gate and look at it, a lot of these cats, and go, well, fuck this. This is like, I mean, especially now, this is like, they might think we're MAGA or something, like, you know what I mean? Like we're libertarians because we actually just like have rules, and you can't just come in and it's not the leftist Wild West. And we don't have, 80 pictures of gay midgets and rainbows. We don't do that, which is like what they respond to a lot, which is like, if they don't see the rainbow flag going like, whoosh, then somehow you're not liberal. So I think people come to us and go, no, that's not for me, because the people that are driving the hardest to guns are going to be a little bit more left, and they're a little bit more fucking sketchy and sketched out and a little bit more paranoid. That's what I think is happening. But I also agree with you simultaneously. This is overwhelming the shit out of people. This blitzkrieg of retardo.
Yeah, yeah.
And I don't think people are just like, they don't know what to do.
Yeah, it's just like 401, you're watching your investments shit the bed, and like people get disappeared. It was, as you were talking, it occurred to me that LGO specifically existing social media wise on Facebook, look at the giant turn Facebook took, that Zuck took. Yeah. And that's got to have some kind of influence as far as just kind of middle of the road, gun curious people left of center, or maybe in the middle, just kind of going, I don't think I want to take this to Zuck, right? Like maybe I don't want to broadcast any of that to an entity that is now hostile. So maybe that is part of it.
I agree.
You have more people spending more time on Blue Sky, or they're just not, they're not taking. I don't see. So I have a pretty good amount of right wing friends, like real world clients, coworkers, really big MAGA fans, and they aren't saying shit. Like they are radio silent.
Yeah.
Like it's, pictures of the kids at baseball. It's everything but nothing. Where like up to the election and even after the election, it was. And almost, maybe a week or two after inauguration, they just went silent. And I think a healthy portion of the right is kind of wigged out right now, going, oh shit, what did we do?
Yeah, Howard and I just had that same conversation on text, because we were talking about reduction in force, and is it going to affect him? And I asked him, this is the second time I've asked him since January. I was like, what's the scuttlebutt amongst your, like, there's so many conservatives like in his, and around his gig. And I was like, is there like buyer's remorse? Or are they just like got that silence going on? And he was like, it's fucking silence, dude. They're not saying anything.
Yeah. Yeah. We're definitely not, they're still framing it as, look, I either voted for Trump or Kamala, and Kamala wasn't going to happen like that. They weren't going to do that. So, they had to do what they had to do.
Yeah, I don't think they were. I don't think most people were wise enough to understand that there was going to be this blitzkrieg of fucking retardo right off the bat. Like, I don't think most people were that hip. I mean, I didn't think it was going to be this intense. I knew he was going to like flood it, but I didn't think it was going to be this intense.
Yeah, I expected it because they broadcast it pretty, even before he was inaugurated. Like the plan was out there that they were just going to the flood the zone thing or whatever. The El Salvador thing really stands out to me as like, that is freaky. Like when they start talking about maybe even like deporting U.S. citizens, like why is that something that's even being, why is that showing up on my feed? Right. Sure. Like, why are we talking about this?
Yeah.
That's some super spooky, I hate jumping on the fear train of, the sky is falling and we're turning into a fascist state. And I hate buying into all that. And yet there's some real spooky shit going on.
Yeah. There's some footprints of that style are blatantly happening.
Yeah.
Not every conservative is a dipshit, and not every libertarian is a dipshit, and not every patriot, the person that's like, I'm a patriot. Not like, these aren't 100% dipshit groups. These things that are happening should be of concern to conservatives.
Yeah.
To libertarians.
True small government.
Yeah.
Right. Because there's a whole lot of big government happening.
Yeah, it should be concerning. Even to patriots should be like, hold on a second here. Constitutional patriots should be like, not so much. And that's what I think we need to look out for is when these cats start piping up, and there have been a few.
Rand Paul stands out as somebody that just kind of makes it into the news cycle as maybe the most, like, giving Trump the most pushback from their side, as like, this isn't small government, the tariffs and what he's like been very vocal about, like, this is going to mess my state up. And, I just worked on, so it's a regular client of mine, her daughter and son-in-law live in Germany and they fly home once a year. And she buys them some sessions. So I worked on them a year ago and then just worked on them on Thursday. And I just asked, we whisper, and it's funny how people at my gym, we find the people left of center. We sort of find each other and speak in whispered, hushed tones. And it's weird how it's like when I used to smoke weed, like I could start a new job and the other stoners, we would all meet, like, in the first week, we would have all, they'd be like, you smoke weed, don't you? Right. Like, it's like we there's some kind of weird, I don't know what it is, but people bring it up, or or maybe I bring it up and I'm probing a little. You seem a little bit left of center. But anyway, they're so her daughter and son-in-law just flew in from Germany on Monday, and I asked, I was like, was customs different? And she was like, oh my God, like it was absolutely different. And she said when they bought their plane tickets, they got an email from the German government with a whole list of suggestions, like delete all of the social media apps from your phone. Don't have, like, lock it with a passcode, not fingerprint or facial recognition. Like, there was a whole, like, list of suggested things to do before flying into America. That's freaky shit, man.
It is.
We're fucking up. We're fucking up when other countries have to, like, give warnings about coming to visit us.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
I think the thing that I've said is that, no, I don't have an attitude one way or the other. I'm not like sky is falling, and I'm not like, let's be hopeful, Will. Like, I'm not fucking that way either. But what I keep looking for is it's probably going to get worse or more intense, or we're going to see more of that shit that we're like, ooh, that's fucking spooky. I think nothing works like when the fucking conservatives bring it up. When the conservatives draw a line, when the patriots draw a line, when the libertarians draw a line. Nothing works better than that. So we could scream from the rooftops. It doesn't mean like hardly anything. But when their side starts complaining.
Yeah. No, it has to come from their side. Because, yeah, nothing we say, I mean, they just knee-jerk reject it as reactionary, and I get that. You know,
yeah, it's authoritarian bullshit directly.
Yeah. It works the same in reverse, right? Like, the Democrat Party is absolutely in the toilet right now.
Yeah.
And what people on the right think about the party totally doesn't matter, right? It's what people left of center think about the Democrat Party, and it's pretty bad.
Yeah, I mean, it allowed Donald Trump to get into office.
Yeah.
Bad.
Yeah.
Which is fucking
crazy. Like it. Yeah.
None of this shit makes sense. Like if we like politics 20 years ago.
I think that part of it actually is the one part to me that does make sense.
Which is which part?
The reason he got into office is because the Democrat Party is dog shit right now, and that's you know, and then there's lots of room for debate on how you fix it. You know, look at the was it the Chuck Schumer and AOC kind of situation, right, in New York? Mm-hmm. Like, she's possibly going to primary him, and you know, is that what the party needs? Is that what the left needs? Is to finally start listening to the more left people and stop trying to be, you know, diet Republican,
right?
Or you know, or does that blow up in our face too, and then just give the Republican Party more power? Like, I don't have the answer. I don't pretend to. Most people left of center that are in my universe are more moderate. You know, I mean, I know plenty of way out there leftist cats, and I even go shoot with them and whatever, but half the shit they say it makes me cringe and makes me go, maybe Trump isn't that bad. So, you know, I don't pretend to have the answer to how to fix the situation, but and I think maybe that, again, that all feeds into this current state of just what the fuck, right? Like when you had Obama came into power and you had the Tea Party was the reaction to it. And the left, I mean, we've had some pretty large protests in recent weeks, but there's not a whole lot of direction to that. You know what I mean? It's just a bunch of people that are pissed off and don't like Trump. That, you know, that's cool, but how do you turn that into an organized something that actually gets shit done? And I don't see that happening because there's still too much. There's no clear leader on the left who's saying this is the way, right?
Yes, and then that's what I brought up on both podcasts and on the newsletter. It's the first thing, which this is the result of a lack of leadership. We are that the Democratic Party and generally the American left is a neutered phenomenon, and it neuters itself through groupthink.
Yeah,
and it has really weird parameters. I don't say weird, but yeah, I'll see.
Yeah, it does. Yeah, I get it.
Weird parameters, like weird gates about shit, and then everybody, whether it's male or female or a gender non-binary person, everybody's spine or balls are pulled out, and you have to just submit to the groupthink, and you can't have strong leadership inside of a culture like that. And this is the fucking result.
Yeah,
like you can't be that worshipy with groupthink. So, and I think I don't have the answer either, but definitely in order to beat a Donald Trump, the answer is always going to be you need to get as many votes as you can in as many places as you can. That means you have to be able to be cool with the moderate liberals and the further left, and everybody has to shut the fuck up and go pull the lever.
Yeah, which is wild. I mean, that's what they did for Biden. Yeah, I
Yes.
don't know anybody that was like, "Yay, Biden's rad,"
Right.
right? It was just, we have to stop this Trump situation, and so everybody got their shit together and held their breath and held their nose and went and punched that ticket, and they just weren't going to do it for Kamala. Just wasn't going to happen.
No, I don't admire her position, man. She's got guts for even going okay, but boy, she's I just don't know how you can go from where we were with Obama, which was like a dream shot, and how you can, as the Democratic Party, go from there. And what did they do with that? Was they shit the bed, and just continue to shit the bed.
Yeah,
I don't know how you fuck that up.
There needs to be some kind of space in between. I'm thinking back to 2016, some kind of space, a personality in between Bernie Sanders and Hillary Clinton, right? Somebody that can wrangle both wings of the party and say, look, you dickheads have to get your shit together, and there's got to be, a coalescing of like, look, you're not going to get everything you want, and you're not going to get everything you want, but we've got to come together because we all don't want that.
Yep.
And
this is the perfect example of that dynamic.
Yeah. And I don't know who that, so far there just doesn't seem to be that character in the public sphere. You get somebody who might be kind of like that, like Gavin Newsom, and then just you bring up the name, and then all of a sudden people on the left fucking hate his guts, right? Just again, knee jerk, like, no, fuck that guy. He's not the one. Like, okay, then who's your person?
Right. Yeah. I think we are like the DNA at this point of the left side of the American reality, if there is such thing, is the DNA of the group, like the baseline chimpanzees, and baseline chimpanzees don't like the other chimpanzees jumping out of the group and being special. You're not allowed to do that. Right. So there's all the chipping and the fucking paper cutting and the mosquito biting and the nipping and the fucking, you just constantly always pulling everybody back down into the group because one person's gate is about this. One person's purity gate is about that. One person's purity gate is about that. You can't fucking win against the group of chimpanzees. It wants to pull everybody down. And that's why I'm all for, like, I'm just done with group think. Like, you can suck it. Like, I can't. It's killing us. It's killing the left for sure.
But yeah, the gun space, I just don't feel that same energy from 2016, 17, or 2020, 2021. My channel launched exactly pre-COVID. And, people were really freaked out and concerned, and like lifelong anti-gunners that I knew personally were reaching out to me like, hey, I'm going to go get my first gun. What should I get?
Yeah.
And I see a little bit of it on the socials, but it just doesn't feel at all the same.
Yeah.
I don't feel that drive. And then again, so with my channel, it's a little bit of chicken or the egg. I don't know if I'm less motivated to produce content because I feel like the viewership is just kind of lost. Like they just, aren't in it right now, or vice versa. Are they maybe just not responding because I'm not creating as much content? Because I also have just a lot of personal shit going on that's made making content a lot harder for me. With my parents basically being a caretaker. So yeah, it's like maybe it's just me or and I'm the one who's not as engaged, but just across the board, it just doesn't feel like. And again, I go back to I think people just don't want to end up in a damn prison in El Salvador, right? So it's like the idea of we're going to rise up and, that's not really a thing.
Yeah. I definitely think everything you've brought up is probably a contributing factor. being more careful, not wanting to have your shit online, not liking Facebook. If you add in what I said, which is, the people that are seem to be spending the most time online are either immature or less stable. And so those are going to be more eccentric and edgy people. And when they come to the gate of anything like LGO or even your channel, it's just not going to be left enough for them. It doesn't resonate as like fucking bro. That same shit you said, like your buddies that you go out and shoot with on the left, and that shit that comes out of their mouth. That's like a signaling. You know what I mean? It's they're looking for that to come back at them.
Well, and they go around with each other a lot, as far as the goalposts or whatever, right? The gates, the gatekeeping. That there's no real, they're all varying degrees of left, far left.
Yeah.
That, I mean, they're certainly not going to be the ones to pull us out of this shit at all.
No, dude, no.
And they were probably a lot of the people who didn't go vote.
Yep.
Last year. And so, I think about it, all the people that couldn't go vote for Harris because of Palestine.
Yeah, right. That's the classic example.
Yeah, right. And it's like, how'd that work out for you?
Yeah.
How did that, like, what in your mind thought Trump was going to be the better choice? It's just fascinating. And I get the deal of, well, I'm just not going to vote.
Yep.
I'm just not going to vote, and that way it's not my problem. And it's like, that's just not how living in society works, right? Like, you don't get to just sit back and go, oh, ha, I didn't vote. So, like, they don't give a fuck. They'll send you to El Salvador too. Like, they don't care.
That's sort of the problem with absolutism. It's not practical. And, a lot of those cats, the leftist cats, they subconsciously want this whole thing to fucking fall down. That's like,
sure. Yeah.
They want that.
Yeah.
So anything that, even if they can't out and out recognize that that's what they're doing in their behavior, they want the whole thing to crumble because the whole thing is dog shit to them. There's nothing redeemable about it. So fuck it. Might as well just let it.
Yeah.
And of course they want that right until the Gestapo's at their fucking door. And I've said this to John Waltz. I said it to Martin. I said it to Alessandro. I said it. Those cats will be the first cats in the fucking ditch. They'll be the first dudes, the first people covered in lie. They'll be the first fucking people. So why not vote?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, they're living in a fantasy world.
Yeah.
Right. Their guns are a fantasy world. They can't run 2 blocks. They can't fight. They spend a lot of time online, and they're not going to fucking vote, and they're going to be the first ones to fucking eat it.
But they have a really cool Flecktarn,
they got the gear.
Right. Yeah, they got the kit. They're going to buy their way into. Yeah, it's.
You don't like. The people that want everything to fall apart are the people that wouldn't survive the first 2 weeks of it.
Yeah,
for sure. The rest of us are like, dude, no, seriously, you don't want that.
Yeah,
like, you definitely don't want that. Let's try something else.
Yeah.
But I had my first question for you written down for today was going to be about your channel, and outside of what's going on right now. We have tens and tens of thousands of liberal gun owners out there, hundreds of thousands potentially. And your channel, because I've been there, since the beginning. Currently, you're at like 7,700 followers.
Yeah, something.
Check right. Like that.
Yeah,
like your regular videos average like 600 to 1,000 to 1K on views, and then you have some shorts that are bangers like 10,000, 11,000, 12,000, whatever. But this was in the beginning too, where we were talking about like, why isn't there any fucking support? Like, they have been asking for some liberal to fucking start a thing, and we went through this you went through this, you turned yourself into a fucking pretzel to do it. And there should be twice as many people subbed, 3 times as many people subbed. Why in our actual culture? Why is that not the case? Why are people not supporting you to the degree that they should be?
So I think I would have a larger, at least larger following from the left if I talked about politics. You know, like if I was truck ranting, you know, and had that kind of truck rant vibe, where I brought politics into the channel, I think I would probably have more, you know, I would lose a certain chunk of subscribers because they're like, oh shit, I didn't know. Well, fuck this guy. Right. But I think it would have had enough more appeal, you know, that I think that's what people are looking for, right? Like that seems to be what drives engagement, is stuff that gets us all frothy and in our feelings, and they're like, oh, he preach, brother.
Right.
You know, you and I mentioned years ago, if I had fucking purple hair and some nose rings and some shit, like I think that would, and then I, you know, had a rainbow flag behind me or something, that I think that would drive more subscribers. You know, I think people would be like, oh, he's definitely on my team.
Right.
I'm going to support this guy.
Right.
And instead I look like this middle-aged white guy with old school camo on his wall behind him. Like, I don't know what that means. I don't think I can, you know, I can't tell.
Right.
And so I instead, you know, years ago made the decision, I'm not going to make my shit about politics. I'm going to talk about guns. And with some exceptions, I've made some messaging, you know, a few videos here and there when things came up, Pulse nightclub shooting, like, fuck, I feel like I need to talk about this. Like, you know, a little bit of virtue signaling here and there, but I try to, it's a fucking gun channel. I want to talk about guns. I don't want to drive away people that might be curious about some of the shit I'm into, you know, old wheel guns and cowboy shooting or whatever. Like, I don't want to drive those people away because I'm constantly ranting about, you know, politics.
Right.
So I felt like, you know, I think of the channels that I watch, which are definitely, you know, guys that are probably went out and voted for Trump. I guarantee they went out and voted for Trump, or maybe didn't vote, but
Right.
Of course I go completely blank on like the Honest Outlaw has got if you know who he is, he's got a really great following. Doesn't talk politics much. There'll be an occasional, you know, anti-gunner line here and there, whatever. But it's not pointed at so much like Democrats or liberals or the left. It's just anti-gunners, right? Yep. They'll make you know, and it's maybe a little coded, but we know who he means. But generally he just doesn't talk about that shit. And that's so much more enjoyable to me than, you know, none of us on the left want to tune into a gun guy who's, you know, talking politics. Like, that's not what we're there for.
Right.
So why should I have to do it from the left?
Right.
Why should I have to virtue signal my politics and my beliefs to gain more supporters? Now, clearly that shit hasn't worked. Right. Whereas I look at, Tactical Girlfriend started her channel like the same month that I did back in 2020, like January, February 2020.
Sure.
And for a minute we were tracking real close in like subscribers, and then just in a matter of months, she just took off.
Yep.
And, now I do have to wonder how many people subscribed and were following and watching didn't realize she was trans. I know that was a thing. But I'll assume that most people did know and were supporting her in part because she was a trans shooter, and it was like, wow, this is cool. Right.
Yep.
So, you know, I feel like that without having to be political, her very existence was
Absolutely.
in a way, right, was signaling to an audience like, hey, support me because I'm on your team. And she definitely, I'm still rocking that bargain basement Wayne's World production value, and she jumped into the, trying to push that kind of Garand thumb envelope of production quality, and it broke her. Right? It kicked her ass. To where she was like, the amount of time and effort I'm putting into this is not worth what I'm getting in return.
Yep.
In financial, right.
Yeah.
And so she just, she still exists, but she quit making just regular YouTube content because the shit is fucking exhausting. It's so the time you put into editing, filming, shooting, your ammo budget, your gas budget, your range fees. I mean, it just goes on and on and on. And, I early on baited my subscribers by giving away guns. I've given away nearly 20 guns in the last 5 years, and that kept people supporting. But as support diminished, I can't afford to do that now.
Yep.
And I'm just not. I've given away some really, I wasn't giving away bullshit either. I was giving away nice guns. Yeah. That was partly made possible by some extremely generous supporters who either sent large checks or just donated whole ass guns for me to give away. Right. So that was part of it. But there was a time where I was able to not work and I could pay my bills just barely, but I could pay my bills, feed myself, put gas in the car, and run the channel off of my Patreon support.
Yeah. And
then throughout 2022 and 23, it just kept dropping and dropping and dropping. And I understand, like stuff comes up, life comes up. Inflation, I think, was a ball breaker for me. People just look at the budget and they're like, I want to support this guy, but it's just not in the budget. And I think the importance that people were putting on that kind of content was diminishing also from the very people that we're talking about, right? People on the left who want to support a gun tuber, and they're just like, man, it's just not, it's not that important to me right now that I need to keep this guy going. I've got this other thing going on. I try not to take it personal when someone, and I always appreciate when people reach out and message me directly, like, hey, listen, I'm so sorry I have to drop support, but it's budget, things are tight. And then the next day I see their new motorcycle on Facebook, and I'm like,
yeah, dude,
totally not taking that personal.
Yeah.
Oh, man. You do you, bro.
Well,
not taking that personal.
I was joking, man.
I did not just curse your ancestors. It's fine. But that's what's happened. Is just
sure.
I think it's just not that important to people. And on my end, I have to own that as support dropped, again, it became this like, right, a chicken or the egg deal of like, support drops, I'm not motivated to go make videos because I'm not making any money on it now. I'm barely break even. And then if I give anything away, I'm losing money. So, and if I were to factor in any kind of time spent editing and actually creating the videos, then I'm, if I paid myself minimum wage, I'm losing money. So it makes it it's very unmotivating to go out and create content when there's no reward other than just, entertaining people for the sake of entertaining people. But I think that's real shitty if viewers expect us to just do this out of the goodness of our heart. Right. And, but it's, yeah, I think I was not, and I'm trying to think of other left of center content creators in the gun space, they've all dissolved. I mean, they all, Gun Penguin. I mean, there's a handful. Tinker Pierce, his, Michael's, I think steadily still growing. He doesn't talk politics at all. And his production value is not amazing, right? It's right there about like mine. He is retired and has a lot more free time on his hands than I do. And he also has forgotten more about guns than I've ever learned. So he is he's like a fucking encyclopedia of gun knowledge, and he's a super interesting cat. And, but again, he doesn't talk politics on his channel. He made that same choice like I did. But he just, like I say, he's got a lot more time and he knows a lot about guns. So I think he draws, kind of his own audience. I also never knuckled down into like an exact lane of guns. Yeah. So I never picked a lane, that was like, I'm going to do tactical, right? Or I'm going to do just cowboy, or, just self-defense oriented, or so because I'm into all the stuff. I like all the stuff. And, like I think of, from LGO, Jeremy Thomas, Sector 7 Solutions, Afghanistan vet, infantry grunt, set to work a couple of years ago building out his channel, went very quickly into high-end production, like doing like sexy intro shooty ninja looking stuff with like nods and trying to bring that kind of level to the game. And he blew up like in a couple of years. He blew up. I don't know where he was at last. See if I can find him real quick.
Yeah, take it.
But I mean, his content was really, really solid, straight down the line, tactical.
Mm-hmm.
So talking about tactical gear, weapon choices. He had a lane that he was very much in, and that was working. And let me see if I can find. I don't know why he's not coming up on my search. I don't know if he maybe imploded his. I don't know if he imploded his own channel, but he hit the wall. He hit the amount of time and money I'm putting into this versus. So I think he had a ton of subscribers, but I don't think he was getting many financial supporters. And his deal was, if I don't bend the knee to some sponsors, then I can't afford to do this. And it is unfortunate that when we are small channels, the people who reach out to offer to either send you stuff for free or maybe do some kind of little partnership thing, they're always Chinese companies making products that you really don't want to get excited about supporting and getting on there. And, so I just would decline them. And, it's, for whatever they're offering, it's not going to be worth making a video where I'm trying to brag about this awesome optic that I know is dog shit. Like, I'm not, not going to do that. And I think that's kind of where he was like this so it just grinds people up, man. The people that got into the gun space in the teens, they were able to build a big enough following to make a living from it. And then, from 2020 on, it's just been a grind. And, there's just so many people in the space that you're competing against. And what do you do to make yourself stand out? Well, hang a big flag behind me and virtue signal and make it my entire personality or not,
Which is not a guarantee. That it might be more of a guarantee that you'd get more subscribers, but it's certainly not a guarantee that those people would pony up, because my experience is the fucking cats on the left that are all about the politics and so on and so forth, they don't fucking pony up shit.
Well, we've talked at length about these about this topic.
They'll click on shit all day because they're on the internet all day.
Yeah,
but
and it's free.
Yeah, and once you ask for a $5 sticker, there's always another tattoo, a fucking bag of weed, whatever it is, Cheese Whiz, a fucking ho-ho. There's always more of that.
So, yeah, I mean, I feel blessed to have gotten as much support as I got in those first few years. And for the people who have stuck with it and are still supporting, I'm super thankful. Like I feel guilty that I'm not creating more content for those who are still supporting. But it's just not, the less support I've gotten from the channel financially, the more I have to work at my day job. And my day job is grueling. Like, it is physically one of the most physically demanding jobs that you can do. It's absolutely just soul sucking, physically grinding. And when I'm not at work, I don't always feel like, hey, let's go make a video.
Yeah, I mean, I think that we'll talk about what you do for a living too, and we'll talk about fitness because that's really going to be important. But if anything that I've learned about this whole thing, man, well, first of all, let me say this, because my wife works in this space professionally, and she's like a high tier. I'm going to call her an executive, but she's a real high tier person in the podcasting marketing world. And like the golden era of all this stuff is over.
Yeah,
that's an accepted thing. So if you got in and made your nugget, like you said, like in the teens or earlier, you're in and you're good.
Yeah.
But if you're entering now and you think you've got a great idea, and maybe you do, and you present it awesome, and maybe you do, it's not going to take off. It's not going to blast. Like it's there's too much saturation, oversaturation, and it's more like a black hole. People get everything they fucking want now for free. They can get anything they want with a click. So you can't, even if your shit is better than the other dudes, if they have some psychological connection to the other person, that's whether it's the rainbow flag or some Punisher skull or whatever it is that links them into that other person, your shit might be better, but that doesn't matter. That's not how the human brain works. Their dopamine's going to that fucking easy thing that they identify with.
Yeah.
So, and then we have billions of people doing that.
It's the amount of people doing it, and the way the algorithms
like favor.
Well, they're just it is funny. You would have thought with say for instance on Facebook with Zuckerberg's the great Macho-ing that he's undergone, that maybe they would stop shadow banning gun content on Instagram.
The great Macho-ing.
The great Macho-ing, right? Like, Instagram's all about the masculine energy now, right? But gun content is still absolutely suppressed. That part didn't change. So, I keep waiting. I'm like, any day now, all these hashtags are going to go live again. When I started my Instagram page, my original Instagram page, which I've lost, that's a whole separate thing, but my original page, it blew up. And then I lost it, and so I had to restart it, and it's a trickle, I basically just have the people that I have gone and followed, and then they follow me back. They're like, oh, Will has a new channel. But yeah, you're not going to blow up with a gun channel, short of, like, if you own a gun store or business where you can get a lot of different firearms in your hands and create content.
Yeah.
Where you're just like nearly daily featuring something different, something new. Or, there's some like trick shot guys and stuff that can still go viral doing some cool, like out on somebody's property, throwing stuff in the air and shooting it. And like that stuff will still get some engagement. YouTube is actually better for the shorts as far as, drawing eyes. They don't pay shit. You have to get a lot of views on YouTube Shorts before it pays anything at all. I mean, anything. It's bad. What you hope for by creating shorts is that you maybe drive people to your channel. They're like, oh, who's this? I've never seen this channel before. Let me click on, oh, look, he's got however, many thousand subscribers. Let me go check out some of his videos. And then, that's why you make shorts is it's like an advertisement almost for your primary content. And historically, the easy path in the gun space for getting views is gear reviews, whether it's guns or soft gear, belts, backpacks, chest rigs, right? Slings. Those kind of videos they're going to get some traction. Even on a little bitty channel like mine, they will get some traction. Problem is you got to buy all that shit, right? You got to buy it. Nobody's sending me a fucking Haley's chest rig or what. Like that's not how this shit works. I have to buy the shit, and I can't afford to do that unless I have people supporting. So when the support goes away, there go all my reviews. And so the last couple of years, I've really just knuckled down on building out my dream guns. And again, I'm thankful to all my Patreon supporters who have allowed me to build some extremely sexy guns in the last couple of years that I definitely couldn't have done without the channel. I mean, that extra money coming in is where I applied that. And part of why I gave away some really nice guns that kind of hurt a little bit was to keep that fundage coming in to fund the new stuff. But then I've also, because I've done that, I've kind of hit a place where I don't really want to go out and buy anything else. Right? Like there isn't anything. I've checked almost all the boxes in guns I want to own. I mean, I would have a Todd Glenn sized collection of Smith & Wesson wheel guns if money were just pouring in. And I would just I could just be the Smith & Wesson revolver channel if I had that kind of revenue coming in. I'd make that a full-time gig. And those videos do well. Old Smith wheel guns, old Colts, that content works. And partly because boomers cannot resist commenting and sharing their 2 cents. And that therefore drives the algorithm because you get those comments. And that's probably another thing too, is I don't go for the being real controversial and driving the algorithm that way. I have a few, made a video years ago about dropping the slide on an empty chamber. That's one of those videos that it forces people to chime in and give their 2 cents. And then that in turn keeps the video going. So even several years later, every couple of weeks, I get a comment on that video, right? Because people either totally agree with what I'm saying or they think I'm an idiot, but either way they jump in and they comment, and that there pushes the algorithm. Simplest thing that people who want to support a channel, who really feel like they can't afford $5 a month, comment, get in the comments and just be like, hey, I banged your mom or whatever. Like, it doesn't even matter what the comment is, just comment something, and that will push that video up in the algorithms, and it will help the creator of that video.